In my many years practicing as an interventional radiologist, I've gotten a chance to use some of the world's most sophisticated instruments available to modern medicine. And although these cutting-edge devices allow me to detect and treat tiny lesions, cancers, and other abnormalities, they don't give me the big picture. They can't tell me how creative or vibrant you are, how forgiving or resilient you are, if you're holding on to emotional trauma, whether you're living in joy, purpose, and passion, whether you're giving back to your community or just taking from it. But why would a medical doctor need to know any of that about you? All these things make up something called your body's bioenergetic state. The energy, frequency, and vibration that's emitted from your body, and it goes to each and every one of your cells, giving them instructions to either thrive or to enter a disease state. And that's why I had my 5-year-old nephew, Riley, help me create the first prototype of the Vibra-Vuu. Could I have thought of a better name? Maybe. One that you wouldn't be embarrassed to tell your mom you got at Amazon? Maybe. But a device that can measure your bioenergetic state will tell me if your cells are given signals to function at their highest peak potential. It will only tell me if you have a chronic disease, but if your cells are given signals to develop one even before they start. And I could just pass it over you, like being wanded at the TSA. Now, chronic disease develops from disordered relationships between cells and their cellular community because they've received signals from a low bioenergetic state. Today, 1 in 2 Americans has a chronic disease, and 1 in 4 have multiple chronic diseases. These conditions have become a national and global epidemic. And one of the most important things that we can do to reverse that and to live in a state of high performance and health is through community. More about that in a second. But bioenergetic medicine is the medicine that studies the transformation of energy in cells and living organisms. Bioenergetic medicine, actually, this model is synthesized by observing high-performing individuals, entrepreneurs, athletes, the new science of epigenetics and biohacking, and anti-aging and regenerative medicine. And the premise of this model is that we are all energetic beings. We're all made of energy, right? We're made of cells, and the cells are made of energy, both physical and non-physical. Cells work with other cells together through energy to form tissues. Tissues work with other tissues through energy to form organs. And all the organs interact and communicate with each other through the energy of our nervous system, through peptides and through hormones. And our outer bodies have receptors to take in energy, like light, sound, food, emotions like love and anger, and they transmute that energy back into the signals into our cells. So as you can see, our cells are constantly being directed by the different energies around it. Now you might be wondering, well, Dr. Kien, what about DNA? I thought DNA is what makes our cells the way they are. Well, yes and no. Epigenetics, the science tells us that the fate of each cell is not determined by the DNA. Our DNA is not written in stone. In fact, the fate of our cells is how our DNA interacts with the outside environment. It's these outside energies like sleep, like love, that gives signals to our DNA telling which genes to be turned off, which genes to be turned off. And ultimately, that decides how a cell will behave. Given the right bioenergetic cues, a cell will grow and flourish. It will have more energy. It will live longer, and potentially supports the growth and healing of the cells around it. Given the wrong bioenergetic cues, a cell will be diseased, inflamed, and potentially destructive to the cells that are around it. Now, there might be tons of environmental signals that could potentially affect the behavior of a cell, but there's actually 7 primary bioenergetic elements, I call them the 7 Bs, that make up your body's overall bioenergetic state. And they are sleep, nutrition, movement, stress reduction, mindset, purpose, and community. All these 7 factors actually make up your body's overall bioenergetic state. And in a high bioenergetic state, what I call the thrive state, your cells are given signals to grow, to heal, and to thrive. Your sex and well-being hormones increase, giving you a sense of joy, happiness, and heightened libido. You enjoy improved immunity, which reduces your risk for infections. Your cells' mitochondria, or their power plants, they function more efficiently, which means that your cells have more energy, which means that you have more energy. There's decreased inflammation, which reduces your risk of getting chronic disease. And your telomeres are longer. Telomeres are these DNA caps in your cells, and having them means that your cells are protected from aging. This thrive state is a state of growth, healing, longevity, and vitality. But in a low bioenergetic state, the opposite happens. I call that the stress or survive state. Your cells start to atrophy. They'll be inflamed. There's increased inflammation, which then leads to chronic diseases like cancer and autoimmune disorders. Now, because these 7 energetic elements are all connected to each other, when you just work on one of these elements, it's easier to elevate the emotions, it's easier to elevate the energy and the vibration of the other elements. For example, if you start to sleep better, you'll rebalance your hormones, and that will give you more energy to exercise, which will then allow the foods that you eat to be metabolized better, which will then re-optimize your hormones, which will give you decreased stress. Your emotions will elevate, which would give you the fuel to work on your purpose and to give back to your community. Now, do you think your elevated bioenergetic state will affect those around you? Yes, we're all energetically connected to each other. And this also happens in the cellular level. A healthy cell is actually able to elevate the state of their less healthy counterparts. Now, we all know that nutrition, sleep, stress reduction, we all know that that's healthy for an individual, right? It's in all the health textbooks. But one could actually never reach their highest bioenergetic potential without purpose and community. And there's a reason why our genes are wired in this way. This mutual dependence, this symbiosis, is actually how multicellular life evolved, right? We are who we are today because one cell worked with another cell, which formed all life on Earth. So you can see our cells and we ourselves are meant to thrive as individuals, yes, but only so that we can give back to our community, elevate it, so that we could be stronger together. Now, Picasso once said, the meaning of life is to find your gift, but the purpose of life is to give it away. So what's your gift? Simple. Begin by thinking about the things that bring you joy. Maybe it's time with loved ones. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's art. But your gifts are the things, are the activities, are the people that your soul desires, that light you up, that put passion in your life. And if you're able to do those things, and you share that with your community, or you serve your community doing that thing, that is your purpose. And your purpose is your medicine. You start to do more of that, you'll find something miraculous happens. You'll wake up more excited. You'll eat better. You'll sleep better. Because it's so much easier to make healthier choices for yourself when you're feeling good about yourself. And that's why I love this bioenergetic model so much. Because it reminds us that our state of health and performance is ultimately secondary to the energy that we give ourselves by the choices that we make. And from going from a low to a high bioenergetic state, it means making the choice to cultivate emotions of love, trust, and gratitude instead of indulging in anger, regret, or fear. It means making the choice to serve from our hearts instead of our egos, and making the choice to serve we instead of me. Because ultimately, we are all simply cells in the larger body of humanity. And many of us don't realize this, but we have a choice on how we live, how we feel, and how we impact the lives of others. Yes, we can choose to be that cancer cell that abandons community and destructive to humanity. Or we can choose to be that healthy cell that thrives, gives back to community, and moves humanity forward. Now, I know I don't need a Vibravoo to know what this community is choosing. I could already feel the energy in the room. I know Coach G here is working on martial arts and teaching kids how to be the best version of themselves. I know June is working on her sleep. And for the rest of you in this room, I challenge you to take one of these things, focus on one thing in the next 30 days that you'd like to do to elevate your bioenergetic state. Commit to that. And just know that that one change will catalyze not just a shift in energy in you, but those around you. Because ultimately, when we collectively raise the energy within ourselves, as a community, we won't only heal ourselves, but we'll heal the world. Thank you.
Thrive Union is a real-world community and life school dedicated to human well-being. Our regular events include parties, game nights, supper clubs, hikes, and Thrive meetings to build deep levels of intimacy, empower us to grow, and improve our world. Our life school provides educational videos, articles, conferences, and educational courses. Visit our website at thriveunion.org to learn more.